Dahil pasok ka na.
सीताराम 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 सीताराम
Sige po.
सीताराम 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 Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Together. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ramachandra Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Ram Navami Mahotsav ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation. So Ram Navami is coming. How many of you know Ram Navami is coming? Bhavya knows because Bhavya played an amazing role of Sita Maharani. Yesterday there was a performance by Bhavya. Those who missed must have recorded. I think we should put it on the. It's already there. YouTube. YouTube. Oh, you're a star.
Depends on who's done. My channel still was done.
We need to do something about that.
Everybody has to do something about it.
Like it, yeah?
Yes. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for coming. It's in many of the cultures within India, it's the Happy New Year. In Kashmir, it's called as Navre. Nav means new and Navre means the new year. This is going to come. In Maharashtra we have Gudi Padwa today, and I think many calendars. It's going to be the new year. So that's how we celebrate. Of course, for us, we celebrate it as Holi, as the new year, or Purnima festival for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So our calendar begins from the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Gauranga. Actually, it's on the day of Holi also, Krishna kills the famous demon. His name was Shankachuda. So he killed him that very day. It is also called as Holi Purnima, or of course we call it as Corn Purnima. On that particular day, Krishna killed Shankachuda, and he had money, and actually Krishna took from him because he was trying to abduct some gopis of Krishna and Balaram. And when Krishna comes back, he has this beautiful jewel, and he wants to give it. But there are so many gopis, so Krishna realized this is going to be a problem. So then he goes to Balaram and he gives it to Balaram, that famous jewel. Okay, so let's begin with the Mangalachara. You have Bhagavad Gita copies, so it's right there in the introduction. We got some extra copies. Oh, papers also. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha
Manobishtam Stapitamidena
Bhutale Swayam Rupa Sarangneyam Davanti Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Rudavatamlam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupan Savijatam Saganadhanathan Vishantam Sajitam Sadaitam Sadhutam Parijanasetam Krishna Janyadevam Shri Radha Vishnavadam Sagadalita Shri Vishakanikamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikakanta Radha Kanta Samastute Tatte Kanchana Gaurangi
राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वनाथसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
So reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text number 3. Last time we finished up 2 verses of the 3rd chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Loke asmin dvida nishta Pura prokta maya naga Jnana yogena sankhayam Karma yogena yoginam
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Loke asmin dvida nishta
Loke asmin dvida nishta
Pura prokta me naga
Pura prokta maya naga
Jnana yogena sankhyanam
Jnana yogena sankhyanam
Karma yogena yoginam
Karma yogena yoginam Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
लोके अस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा
Loke asmin dvida nishta
पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघा
Pura prokta maya naga
ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानां
Jnana yogena sankhyanam
कर्मयोगेन योगिनां
Karma yogena yoginam
श्री भगवान उवाच
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
लोके अस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा
Loke asmin dvida nishta
पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघा
Pura prokta maya naga
ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानं
Jnana yogena sankhyanam
कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम
Karma yogena yoginam. It's very interesting that you are reading the same words which was spoken by Krishna, Sri Bhagavan. And this is another interesting thing, that when it's Arjuna, 2 verses before, what was mentioned? Kya likha gaya tha? Starting there? 3.1? Yes, exactly. What was that? What is 3.1 starts with? Arjuna Vacha, exactly. And when it's first verse of the Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, what does it say? Dhritarashtra Vacha. Then there is Sanjaya Vacha. How many characters are there in Bhagavad Gita? 4 people are speaking. So when there is Sanjaya, it says Sanjaya Vacha. Sanjaya spoke. Dhritarashtra Vacha. Dhritarashtra spoke. Arjuna Vacha. Arjuna spoke. But why it doesn't say Krishna Vacha? It says Shri Bhagavan Vacha. This is very interesting, very important. Why Vyasdev is mentioned? Because Krishna is Bhagavan. So Padma Purana explains the definition of Bhagavan. Bhagavan means, there's something like Bhagyavan, Dhanvan. Van means possessor, right? One who has it. Dhanavan, like that. So Bhaga basically means 6 opulences. What are those opulences? Beauty, wealth. What are the things we get attracted to in this world? Beauty, wealth, strength. Yes, somebody is very powerful, may not be rich, but we get attracted, right? What else? Fame, right? It can be very renunciation. There's somebody, a saint. He has nothing. He has given everything. But that his renunciation also attracts all of us. Beauty, for example, somebody is very beautiful. So any knowledge, so anyone who possesses these 6 opulences in total, in infinite levels, is called as Bhagavan. And Krishna fulfills all. Krishna is supremely beautiful. So beautiful that Kandar Pukoti Kamani and Vishesh Yoga Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That Krishna's beauty, even millions of cupids cannot compare with the beauty of Krishna. So that's why Krishna is Bhagavan. So let's read the translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are 2 classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical philosophical speculation, and others by devotional service. Can somebody read the purport? It's a very beautiful purport. It's not that big, but I will cover it up.
In the second chapter, verse 39, the Lord explains 2 kinds of procedures, namely Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. In this verse, God explains the same more clearly. Sankhya Yoga, or the analytical study of the nature of spirit and matter, is the subject matter of persons who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. The other class of men work in Krishna consciousness as it is explained in the 61st verse of the second chapter. The Lord has explained also in the 39th verse that by working by the principles of the Buddhi Yoga of Krishna consciousness, one can be relieved from the bonds of action, and furthermore, there is no flaw in the process.
Yeah, that's it. So here, Krishna, Prabhupada, actually it's not Prabhupada, it's all our acharyas also. So there are acharyas who have written commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. So because how do we know otherwise what Krishna wants to tell us? Or what does Krishna mean? So this is the acharya. Just like sometimes in a big company, there's a big CEO. So CEO translates or whatever his ideas, his vision is, he gives it down the line to all the employees through his senior management who knows CEO well. So he gives it to them the direction, what they have to do, and then they pass it on to all the employees of the company. So in a similar way, Krishna is also revealed through his pure devotees. And these pure devotees, of course we can call them as acharyas or saints. So there are many acharyas who have commented on Bhagavad Gita. And there are 2 very famous personalities. Of course, Prabhupada has also given, but Prabhupada has not given something his own speculation. Prabhupada has taken the essence of all the acharyas and put it in this purport. So these purports are very, very important. So these purports actually are given by Baldev Vidyabhushan, who was almost 1,000 years ago. He had come, and also Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So Prabhupada normally quotes Acharya. So this Bhagavad Gita has been able to transform the hearts of people primarily because there is no change in the context of Bhagavad Gita. It's not what Prabhupada felt. I was going to an airport and I read a book. It's called this. It was a person's name and it was apostrophe S Gita, like his Gita, you know. And I said, what is your Gita? Gita is Krishna's Gita, right? So now, and people read, but they don't get that message, what they're supposed to. Even before Prabhupada printed Bhagavad Gita, there were almost, I don't remember, but I think 100+ editions of Bhagavad Gita were available. But how many of people became Krishna conscious or became devotees of Krishna? None. There was not a revolution of Krishna consciousness even before Prabhupada. There was nothing. That's why Prabhupada mentioned that the Bhagavad Gita is Bhagavad Gita as it is. There's no change. And that is something which is very important. Now, here Prabhupada is quoting the previous 2 verses. Verse number 39 and verse number 61. We don't want to go there, but it's just for you that that's where Krishna explains the personality, the devotee as Sthiprajna. We discussed that last time. You know, what does that Sthiprajna do? What does that devotee do? How does he engage his senses? And how does he walk and talk and things like that. So the same is being quoted here back by Krishna that I spoke to you two principles. That's why it is said as, if you read the verse, I think this is the easiest way to learn Sanskrit. It says that Dvividha Nishtha, two kinds of, Dvi means two kinds of people. And here he's also telling that Pura Prokta. Pura Prokta means formally I have already told you, which means chapter number 2. And what is that he says? Two kinds of people. One was a Sankhya Yogi. That's why the second chapter is Sankhya Yoga. Also, it's known as Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means, you can say, how does this universe come from? Where's the sun gets energy from? Who am I? And ultimately, the Sankhya Yoga principle, by philosophical study, analysis, or speculation, you come to the conclusion, or you come to the final question: who is God? There are three questions. Who am I? Who is God? And what is my relationship with Him? How has this universe come about? Why do I die? This is Sankhya, it's analysis, right? And it is very good to have that. That's why it is included in Bhagavad Gita, Sankhya Yoga. But then the second one, Prabhupada is explaining here, or should I say Krishna explains here, Karma Yogena Yogina. What is that? And Prabhupada quotes it as Buddhi Yoga. And in the previous chapter we understood Buddhi Yoga means Bhakti Yoga. Working in line with Krishna's design. That's Bhakti Yoga. And now in this particular verse, what Krishna is making it even more clearer for Arjuna, that which both of them are to the same line. First he tries to convince Arjuna that don't think they are two separate lines or something. They're leading to the same goal. But the one path is much more easy, one is much more direct. And that is something he wants to convey, bring more clarity for Arjuna here. That one, there is Sankhya Yoga, which is also perfect. You can, of course, question, speculate, and read about it. But then there is Bhakti Yoga, the Buddhi Yoga principle, the Karma Yoga. Actually, it's called as Nishkam Karma Yoga, where you offer all your results to Krishna. And that is very important. And here, Prabhupada makes a very beautiful point in this particular verse. We'll come back to that. But, would you have sent the verses, right? So in the group, there are some verses. I would like you to go back to those, the group. And we will open Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 5, text number 12. Have you got that? Nishkarmanyapapi achyuta bhava varjitam Nashobhate jnanam alam niranjanam Kutah punah shashvat apatram ishvare Nacharpitam karma yadapi akaranam Knowledge of self-realization, even though free from all material affinity, does not look well if devoid of a conception of an infallible God. What then is the use of future activities which are naturally painful from the very beginning and transient by nature if they are not utilized for the devotional service of the Lord? You see? It's a very important point, what we are seeing here in this particular section of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very much connected to this particular verse. You can see some of the words, Naishkarmanya, right? It is again talking about self-realization or Nishkam Karma Yoga, which Prabhupada is explaining in chapter 3, verse number 3. Now here, we are understood, and you can see the last few lines of this purport are very interesting. Can somebody read? There's this line in the Bhagavad Gita.
In the Bhagavad Gita, also it is confirmed that the result of such beautiful search may be offered for the service of the Lord. Otherwise, it leads to material bondage. The bona fide enjoyer of the fruit-eating work is the personality of Godhead, and thus when it is engaged for the sense gratification of the living beings, it becomes an acute source of trouble.
Yes. So otherwise many people feel that okay, Sankhya Yoga we don't do, but we do Karma Yoga. I'm a Karma Yogi. But the actual Karma Yogi, they actually do not know what is Karma Yoga. So for them this is Karma Yoga. What Krishna is talking about here is two types of Karma Yoga. One, I do activities on my own and of course give little something to some temple or something, or do some donation to some charity, and I think I'm a Karma Yogi. No. It's actually giving the results to Krishna. That's what the real Nishkam Karma Yoga means. And that is where Prabhupada is quoting in Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavad Gita also it's confirmed the result of such fruit activities may be offered to citizens. Otherwise, it will again lead to bondage. I'm again coming back to the second chapter. We discussed that either we do good acts or bad acts. Bad acts lead to bad results. Good acts leads to good results. But it's still a bondage. For that you have to again take birth. You have to be 9 months in the womb again, come back and do it all again. You may have some prosperity or you may be in a nice family, but the whole cycle of birth and death continues, even to get those good results also, those pious results also. So unless and until we offer it to Krishna, and little bit higher, even if you have to break this Karma Yoga principle, one would be Karma Yoga. You do your duties and offer some results to Krishna. But then there's Nishkam Karma Yoga principle, that you offer all the results to Krishna. Actually, there's a subtle difference which Rupa Goswami explains. I think in many of our acharyas explain that there is pure devotional service. So right at the beginning only, all the actions he does is only for the pleasure of Krishna. He just fulfills the desire of Krishna. And that's absolutely pure principle of Bhagavad Gita. But then somebody may say, but if we are not on that platform, then what? You may say, Prabhu, okay, we are not here. And then Krishna explains that. So we're going to go to the next verse, which is in chapter 12. I think you have Bhagavad Gita. There's no need for you. So chapter 12, text number 12. This is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. It's so scientific that you can relate it to the various sections of Bhagavad Gita. You're at 12:12? What does it say? Can somebody read? Maybe you can read the verse also. It's always good to read the verse.
Shri Yogi Jnanam Abhyasaj Jnana Dhyanam Vishishyate Dhyana Karma Phala Tyagas Tyaga Chanti Nanantaram. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action, for by such renunciation one can attain peace of mind.
Yes. Can you read the second paragraph?
In summary,
Yes.
to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the highest goal, there are two processes. One process is by gradual development, and the other process is direct. Devotional service in Krishna consciousness is the direct method, and the other method involves renouncing of the fruits of one's activities.
Thank you. Can you see this again? It's coming back again. Two processes. Giving up this thing, again, through knowledge, which is Sankhya Yoga, and then Krishna, Prabhupada is also saying here, is a direct method also. Engaging your senses in Krishna consciousness. And if you read the last few lines, can somebody read that? Last few lines? But as far as
Bhagavad Gita is concerned, it is the direct method that is stressed. Everyone is advised to take to the direct method and surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
Perfect. Right? It's very clear. So when you see these connections happening, now somebody may say, okay, this is nice. So we got a direct process, right? Well, how does it work? So Krishna explains that in chapter 5, text number 5. One who knows, okay, sorry, we'll read the verse again. Anybody would like to read? Brilliant. Intelligent one. Verse 5, chapter 5, text number 5. Yat sankhe pratyate sthanam tad yoge api gamyate ekam sankyam cha yogam cha ya pashyati sapashyati. One who knows that the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, sees things as they are. Now, in this particular, you're seeing this word again coming back, Sankhya principle, right? So the Purport Prabhupada beautifully explains this. Can somebody read this? There's a third line by Sankhya Philosophical Research. Those who have not read so far.
Yeah, by Sankhya Philosophical Research, one comes to the conclusion that a living entity is not a part and parcel of the material world, but of the Supreme Spirit whole. Consequently, the Spirit soul has nothing to do with the material world. His actions must be in some relation with the Supreme. When he acts in Krishna consciousness, he is actually in his constitutional position.
Perfect. Why does it work, this principle? Because according to Sankhya, if you do this speculation or knowledge, Jnana Yoga, you come to know that actually I don't belong to this particular place. I'm not the body, I'm the soul. That's the whole second chapter we studied about, Dehinorosanitha, right? Kaumaram Yavanam Jala. That what happens after death, the soul leaves the body and takes up another body. So the whole cycle continues, which means so I'm not this body. Which means I actually do not belong to this particular material world. It's actually a jail. Like there's a jail here. Do the people belong there actually? They actually belong to the society. They can actually reform themselves and come out and live freely. So in the same way, the spirit soul is caught here. But then, why Bhagavad Gita at different places, which we just studied a few minutes ago, is we're talking about direct, right? Direct devotional service, is because as soon as you connect with Krishna, you coming back to though in the material world, but you're actually in your constitutional position. Example can be given, you have an embassy of, say for example, some country here, Kuwait, right? But inside the campus of embassy is as good as that country. You will have the flag of that country, though the building is in Singapore, but inside all the rules and regulations are of that particular country. Understand? So as soon as soul is there, connected with Krishna, even in the material world, is set to be in his constitutional position. And that's what Bhagavad Gita is always talking about, of directly going. This is the easy process. It's like holding your nose here, and like this. This is Sankhya Yoga, and this is Bhakti Yoga. We just connect. Right? And let's continue this. This is a very beautiful principle. Who was reading? Yeah, you can continue. Somebody else would like to read this particular verse?
In the first process, Sankhya, one has to become detached from the matter. And in the devotional yoga process, one has to attach himself to the work of Krishna consciousness.
What is easy? Attachment or detachment?
Attachment.
Huh?
Attachment.
Attachment is easy, right? So this becomes this is why the beauty of Prabhupada's purports. So he's bringing one more angle to it. Then in Sankhya, you actually have to detach yourself. That I'm not the body, I'm not this world, which is actually very difficult. Krishna consciousness direct process is about attachment. It never talks about that detachment because that automatically comes. When you start getting the higher taste, you start giving up the lower taste. If you drive a BMW, how many times you feel like I have not been in the bus, let me go in the bus or something like that. I mean, I'm just giving a very good example. But when you get the higher taste, you won't go for the lower taste. And that is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. So that's why, now if you read Bhagavad Gita, many people don't come to this conclusion because they're not going in the right through the right process, through the right acharyas, or what's the problem? Because Krishna has kept the science of bhakti in such a way that those who love him can only reveal him. Krishna is not revealed by philosophers or speculative people who just sit and speculate. No. This is a very, very important principle. And this direct process is epitomized by the epitome, the pinnacle of this direct process of bhakti can be seen in the residents of Vrindavan and Ayodhya. You see? So Ram Navami is coming. So Ayodhya Vasis exhibit this direct devotional service to Ram. And you must have seen many devotees. Which is your favorite character in Ramayana? Let's talk about Ayodhya. Only in Ayodhya. Hanuman comes in Kishkinda. Bharat Maharaj. Okay, that's interesting. Yes, anybody else? Lakshman. And you have to say why. Let's start with Bharat. Why Bharat? Why not Sita? Yesterday Bhagat did the role of Sita. Why Bharat?
Bharat Maharaj has sacrificed everything and he has,
Sorry. Yeah.
Like couple of incidents about Bharat Maharaj, like when he knew that that his elder brother is actually having exile. So what he had for the entire 14 years. I mean, he used to dig the mud and he used to sleep down because he thought that my brother is sleeping on the floor and I can't sleep on the same level. So he had dig at that, and he hardly used to eat anything. That he thought that my elder brother is eating the fruits and all. So he used to have, I don't remember exactly what he used to eat, but very, very severe austerities he has done. So a couple of things.
Very beautiful. Thank you. Yes, that's Bharat Maharaj. That's love, right? Yes, Lakshman, why?
After reading Ramayana, it's okay, I'm very loud. I have a very big voice, it's okay. Never mind. I feel that Lakshmana has done many things, Lakshman. Like, he obeyed Ram. He left his palace, he left his wife,
Very important point.
and he went to forest with Ram, only with the purpose of serving him.
Oh, very
With
beautiful.
a lot of devotion he did it.
He never slept in 14 years.
Yes. It says that he did not even eat also for
Yeah. Good.
Or-
It's Lakshman. Because Indrajit was supposed to be killed only when the person was not slept, and he fulfilled that part also. Very beautiful point. Anybody else? Ayodhya.
Lakshman's wife.
Don't worry, I'm going to also say what was my favorite character.
Lakshman's wife.
Yes, what's her name? Urmila. Yes. She just said, Urmila, bhai lafda udhar hai. Why are you going? You sit at home. Let him go now. Where are you going? Right? But I also like characters like Shrutikirti, the wives of Bharat and Shatrugna. 14 years. They said, if the other time Mother Sita comes, we're going to be like this one. So they had a and the very beauty is in Ramayana, if I remember correctly, I think their names, now Lakshman's name comes many times, Bharat's name comes many times, right? Their names come only 2 times. In the whole Ramayana. Ramayana is almost 7 khandas, 24,000 verses. Right? Their name comes only the day their marriage happens, and I guess maybe later in the end, only 2 times. But this sacrifice is amazing. They decide that we should not have children because Mother Sita will not have, so we will not have. Can you imagine for a woman to take such a stand? Who else? Anybody would like to share? That's part of the Vishwamitra. He's not from Ayodhya, Baba. You're from IIT, so I expect such answers. Kevat. Yeah, Kevat is nice. It's a good example. So it's said that when Lord Ram comes to the exile, he goes to Kevat. Whole night Kevat is standing on the tree, watching, and he looks, oh, Lakshmi bhi khada hai. He gets a doubt. Why is he not sleeping? Yeah, because of his love for Ram. Then he gets to know that Bharat is coming with army. And he says, keep all the boats on this side of the river. You might be, never know what he's up to. Right? So yes, his love is very, very deep for Lord Ram. So we have this Ayodhya consciousness, the Ayodhya Vasi, so fully in love with Ram and ready to do anything for Ram. But then we also have, so I'm just trying to analyze. Of course, you know Ramayana overall. I don't want to get into the details of the past time. But it's important to get in the spirit of Ramayana. And then there is Ayodhya consciousness. And then there is, which consciousness? Huh? Lanka consciousness. Prabhuji is very always attentive. Read Kirtan in class. Always up to the mark. So then you have Lanka consciousness. Lanka consciousness, what does it mean? Kill Ram, no Ram, enjoy Sita. No Vishnu, but Lakshmi. So imagine now in which consciousness are we living? Ayodhya or huh? Mataji wants to play safe. She's very well trained by Prabhuji. He says, bhai, idhar hai, idhar apro, बीच में. तो बीच का consciousness है किशकिंदा consciousness. क्या हो not Hanuman is purely important. It's Sugriva. तो सुग्रीव का wife जब नहीं था, तो he came in front of Ram. He said, my dear Lord, please help. Ram says, all right, you're my friend, I will help. So he helps him to get his wife back. He gets the kingdom back, right? But then he forgets Ram. हम भी जाते हैं भगवान के पास, ये दे दो वो दे दो, बच्चे का नौकरी लगा दी है, इसका वो खाल सत्योग भी, इसका शादी का तो हो जाए, then I am ready to, and then वो सब हो जाता है, and then you forget. Then what happens? Lakshman comes, the Guru. He scolds Sugriv, you rascal. You did such promises, some big words. At least you come. And then Sugriv wakes up. And Sugriv calls all the armies. And then comes and fights Ram and perfects his life. So I'm going to touch base on things little on these levels of consciousness. This is very important. When Lord Ram is about to get married, it's a Logu Katha, Danta Katha, the folk stories of the Adi, not mentioned, but they are in sync with the Tattva. They are not contradicting actual Rama. So Lord Ram is getting married, and Sita, he offers a garland, Mother Sita. Now Mother Sita is offering garland to Lord Ram, but Lord Ram is pretty tall, and he's a Kshatriya. So Kshatriya never bows down. So Lord Ram was like this, and Mother Sita was in predicament. What to do? I cannot reach. And Lord Ram, of course, he says, nothing doing, I cannot bow. And Lakshman is watching from a distance. He says, oh my God. He goes and just offers full dandavats to Ram. And Lord Ram speaks. Because he has to reciprocate, right? If somebody gives you dandavats, so Lord Ram did like this. And Mother Sita put the garland. So Jiva cannot approach Krishna directly. One has to approach him through Guru. And Lakshman becomes the Guru. And sometimes we feel we know Krishna, we know Ram. Why do I need somebody in between me and God, me and Krishna? But it's important. Yes, because we have that tendency of Sugriva, of forgetting things from the when Lakshman is hit by the arrow of Meghnad, Indrajit. And he's about to leave his body. So we all know Hanuman goes. But again another story comes when Hanuman is flying across by coming back. And actually Bharat sees him. And Bharat feels, oh my God, he has never seen him. He thought maybe there is some danger on Ayodhya. So actually he shoots an arrow. He shoots an arrow and it hits Hanuman. And Hanuman falls. And while falling, what does he say? Shri. And Bharat realizes, my God, there must be some devotee around. And he actually takes him, it is said, he takes him to Ayodhya. And he speaks, he says that what has happened in the battlefield, that Lakshman can leave his body and he's unconscious. Now, the mothers are standing there and listening. Lakshman's mother's name? Huh? Sumitra, right? She had how many children? Two. Lakshman and Shatrugna, right? Kaikeyi had Bharat. Kausalya had just Ram?
Shasta,
Yashoda?
his sister Shanta.
Shanta. She had a daughter also before Ram. Or God the other. And Dashrath. That story comes later. So Sumitra, when she hears that Lakshman is about to leave his body, can you imagine, after 14 years she hears this news, she tells Hanuman, you must take Shatrugna right away with you. The service of Ram should continue, it should not be stopped. This is Ayodhya consciousness of Sumitra. And when Kausalya hears this, she tells to Hanuman, tell Ram I will not see his face if he comes without Lakshman. This is the beauty of Ayodhya. When Lord Ram, I won't be following any pattern on this, but as whatever comes to mind. So when Lord Ram is going to exile, so who drives him out of Ayodhya? Sumatra, yes. उनके नाम पे Sumatra Islands in Indonesia. It's the same name. So Sumatra drives him. It is said in Ramayana Valmiki writes that when Ram is leaving, the whole Ayodhya is running. And there are old people also, they want to give up their life because Lord Ram is leaving. And Lord Ram looks behind and he sees they having difficulty in catching up. So Lord Ram tells Sumatra, you stop. He comes down and he starts to walk so that the old people can catch up to Lord Ram. And when he passes to some distance, they take rest. And in the middle of the night only Lord Ram understands that they will not leave him. So he tells Sumatra, let's leave this place. But what is very interesting is when Sumatra does not want to leave, he wants to stay with Ram. Lord Ram says something which is very beautiful. I think it's a lesson for all of us. He tells Sumatra that if you do not go back, first he should go back. He said, I don't want to go back. I want to be with you. He says, otherwise I'll just leave and stay here only forever. I don't want to go back to the kingdom. But Lord Ram says, if you do not go back, my mother Kaikeyi will have anxiety in her heart that whether Ram has really gone for exile or not. You must immediately go back, give her the news that I have gone in forest, don't worry. So she will be peaceful. That's Ram. Even for his enemies, Lord Ram is thinking that she should not get too much anxiety. You gaya ki nahi gaya? He said, you must confirm back to her. Tell her that I have left. That is Ayodhya consciousness. And there is Lanka consciousness. We all know that, right? If you see the description of Lanka, it looks like a big city. The same description. As वहाँ पे है ही नहीं खेत खलिहान, beautiful waterfall, there is that. कुछ नहीं. It's mostly about, that's how it is developed. Godless civilization without Ram. Where maybe except Vibhishan, of course he also went away after that. The whole focus was Ravana. And that is Lanka consciousness. That's why Sita is tormented in Lanka. in Sri Lanka. But for us, for devotees, it's called as Karma Mishra Bhakta. We have some devotion to Krishna. We are not in the Lankaman, as Mataji said. We are somewhere in between. The Kishkinda consciousness. So that's why Guru is required. Like Lakshman comes and wakes up Supreme. It is said that when Lord Ram comes to Kishkinda, it's a very interesting pastime. And when Ram and Lakshman come together, and Hanuman is there, Hanuman brings them to Supreme. It is said that Sugriva offers Ram a nice sitting place, but he does not offer anything to Lakshman. And actually, Lord Ram understands this, and of course he does not appreciate it. But Hanuman is a very good counselor. It's a very good counsel. So he immediately understands, and he gives a place, a sitting place for Lakshman. So Ramayana explains that it's actually an offense on behalf of Sugriva. Because when the two brothers fight, Bali and Sugriva, what we have heard, when the first fight happened, Lord Ram could not shoot an arrow because they looked very similar. पूरा पिट क्या जाता है, पूरा उसका धुलाई हो जाता है, इनका उस राम. Do you think that Lord Ram was not able to differentiate?
He knows. He is mad.
So it was just to purify him of the offense he did against Lakshman. And then he said, you must wear a garland next time, so that I understand it's you. And then Lord Ram killed Bali. So sometimes Lord also, for his devotee, many people criticize Lord Ram that he was hiding and then he killed him like this. But of course, Lord Ram gives perfect example or answers, response to Bali, because Bali asks the same question of people. People they criticize that they don't read Ramayana to know what Lord Ram told Bali, why he killed him. But to take criticism for devotees of the immemorial time to come, just to protect his devotee, that is also the consciousness of Lord Ram. That is the mood of Lord Ram, to always protect his devotee. And that's why Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Name Bhakti Pranashyasmi, that my devotee will never perish. It's a confirmation. You take any example. Somebody said Hanuman. Yes, Hanuman is the most dear devotee of Ram. Without there's this famous story, right? Why Hanuman has all the Sindhu. It's very beautiful, very innocent. He sees Mother Sita putting this Sindhu. He says, why are you putting this? He says, this means long life for Ram. Who is it? And he goes and puts all the buckets of Sindhu over it all, and he comes and everybody in Ayodhya is shocked. What happened? He says, for the long life of Ram. Once Lord Ram was sitting and he was reading something. And Hanuman became very interested. He said, my dear, what are you reading? He says, this is a diary where I note the list of those devotees who always remember me. List of those devotees who always remember. And now if somebody is a devotee, he gets excited. Mera gana kaun se number pe baj raha hai? Where am I on this list? So Hanuman was very humble. So he started from the, if we are there, we of course will start on first page. Wait, are we in the top 10 or not? So Hanuman starts from backside. He starts coming, his names are coming. His heart starts to beat faster. And it's on the last page. The last page is going up, and the names are there. And Hanuman then realizes, of course, my life is useless. I'm not anyway served properly with Lord Ram. And Lord Ram can, of course, understand the expression of Hanuman. And it's said that Lord Ram actually takes away one more book, which he keeps very close to his heart. And Lord Ram is now reading that, and Hanuman says, Lord Ram says, this is the list of those devotees whom I remember always. And of course, Hanuman is there. So one of my favorite characters which I have in Ramayana is Jatayu. I always it just inspires me very much, his service to Ram. And many years ago, I don't know why, I think I wrote an article about Jatayu. It's a very beautiful thing which is given between Jatayu and Mar'ich. You know Mar'ich? Who was Mar'ich? Mama of Ravana, who became the golden deer, not deer, golden deer. लक्ष्मण तब सीता को बोलते हैं, my dear Sita, my dear mother, you are saying I want to capture this, but ये तो 84 लाख योनि में है ही नहीं. This is not the product of the actual. This is a fake product. But Mother Sita said no, I want him. This is how Jiva also gets attracted away from Krishna, away from Rama, like that. So there's a beautiful comparative one can do between these two characters, Jatayu and Mar'ich. So Ravana comes to Mar'ich and says, I need your help. We must attack this woman. And Mar'ich says, okay, give me vibrator. So he says, Sita, daughter of such and such, and wife of Ram. And he said, boss, me and my brother is gone, mother is gone, and I know his powers. Whoever has told you this is your worst enemy. Don't listen to him. And Ravana feels, must be true, why true? He goes back. But because Shupnaka has done such a thing, look at the comparatives here. Mantra, how an association can pollute your heart. So Ramayana gives you very interesting examples. So here is mantra polluting a pure heart of Kaikeyi with pure love for Rama. And here it is already full of lust. And again, he can damage it so badly that even Ravana gets inflicted by that association of Shupnaka. You see, both the associations. And then Ravana gets enraged. He comes back again. And he says, either you follow me or I chop off your head. Now, how does a demon think? So Mar'ich starts to thinking. He says, if I follow him, Ram kills me. I get killed by Ram. God, yes. But if I don't do what he says, I'll be killed by this rascal. He says, better killed by Ram. This is demon. This is how a demon thinks. Shortcut. Jatayu killed by Ravana. Right? Very badly. But what was Jatayu thinking? I don't care if I get killed or not. But let me die for the service of Ram. Mar'ich died in service of Ravana, but by the hands of Ram. Jatayu was killed by Ravana, but in the service of Ram. Destination is totally different. Now look at Ramayana. When telling you I want to instigate some thoughts or activate some things in your thought process. What happened to Jatayu's body? Do you know? Yes. Now I have another question for you. This is why one is reading Ramayana, one is going little deep. Last rites किसने perform किया? Who performed last rites? Of Jatayu? Ram. Very good. Perfect answer. So now I have a question for you. Who did last rites of Darshan? Lord Ram did किया? So what Darshan did not get? Jatayu got. Now another question. What happened to the body of Mar'ich?
Nothing.
Ravana Sita को लेके I don't care. Off. Back to Ashokavatika. Right? That's Ravana. And sometimes we feel this in offices, right? Professional life, personal life also. He takes your help and then leaves